Just a dash. Liz by the dark.
Greetings.
Hail, sorceress. Welcome to Ephira. Suffering spreads every which way you cast your gaze, and on a night most foul. Simply appalling, no?
Indeed, Lady Medea. Unfortunately, I can only appreciate the suffering for so long as Olympus calls. Though, how fares your research?
Oh, I've been dying to show you. The air here's absolutely poisonous. The conditions? Utterly atrocious. Observe what I have wrought. May it take you far.
Night protect us. Death to Kronos, milady.
By your will, sorceress. Ah, the sorceress returns. Not had your fill of this putrescent atmosphere? Or merely not succeeded yet in breaking the Titan siege?
Not succeeded yet. Kronos can replenish his forces as quickly as Olympus can repel them. Have you found any weaknesses in their ranks?
They cannot be permanently slain, are barely susceptible to my most noxious poisons, and are single-minded in their devotion to the Titan Lord. Any of those sound like weaknesses?
I almost pity our enemies, knowing you shall make them rue each night they dare oppose us, Lady Medea. Please, I wanted you to have this.
The nectar of the gods. Why, this shall be most useful to my work, for the strongest curses come from honeyed words. Here, let me make this worth your while.
From one sorceress to another. Thank you. What are these pylons doing everywhere, Lady Medea? They control the barrier before the docks, that much is clear. Perhaps the Titan's legions use them to coordinate attacks.
They are the product of a very sick mind, imprisoning so many shades in the tiniest enclosures wherein all their psyche may be drained. Can you imagine, sorceress?
That's terrible. I hadn't realized the pylons worked that way. Though who keeps fixing them? You even have one here.
The hideous thing won't seem to go away. Keeps rematerializing practically each night. Though I get so caught up with all my cauldron work, I seldom pay it any heed. The most outrageous bit of hearsay has been wafting lately on the winds about what ails the mountain of the gods. You've been heading that way. What's going on?
If the hearsay concerned an ancient and enormous monstrosity looking to crush Olympus to pieces, assuming the Titan's legions don't achieve it first, it's not hearsay.
Oh my. Then I know which monstrosity you mean. And you intend to challenge him and all the rest? You're entirely mad, sorceress. But so's the world over.
Snake.
Hail, sorceress. Ah, to face such cataclysmic times and all this tragedy. Truly, these are memorable nights. How fare your journeys to that cursed place the gods call home?
Eventful, in a word. Your concoctions have been broadly useful on the way. I always thought such magic focused on a single victim at a time.
Reach a certain point, and the world itself can be the single target of your wrath. Keep practicing, sorceress. We've no shortage of enemies on whom to ply our trade.
Lady Medea.
Good evening. So many more shades of the dead now linger here. And the earthy aroma, quite unlike before. These crossroads changed since last I visited.
Welcome back to the abode, Lady Medea. What brings you here? And will you be staying with us for a little while?
No, I am Great Hecate's eyes upon the surface. But the night is young, and I've business with the broker there. A surplus of bones to exchange. See you above and below, sorceress.
See you.
It's you. I thank you, sorceress. Infusing fear into the night lets me conduct certain experiments I normally cannot. Though I'm also bound to test you here, as does Great Hecate below.
Test me? Lady Medea, what of the massive Cyclops already barring my path? He'll try to eat us both.
Nah, this witch here is not exactly to my taste. And besides, we got ourselves a little arrangement now, since I can't smell as easy what with all the bodies popping up.
Your fight is with the Cyclops still. My aim is merely to enact the will of night in my own way. Do try your best to pretend I'm not even here, which may be difficult, admittedly. serious, Cyclops. The bodies of the dead ought not to be consumed. All sorts of diseases and the like.
I'm telling you, they can be pretty good. Just gotta age them right. But anyways, we can pick up on that later. Got a warm one over there.
Lady Medea, I cannot believe the two of you are getting on like this. The Testament of Night requires that you form alliances with those who stand in our way.
We merely have a common interest, sorceress. The Cyclops yet stands in your way, so have at him. I'm here to make the night more foul at your own behest. Another nectar bottle you can spare on my behalf? Oh, this shall be a splendid compliment with several much less pleasant ingredients, whose aroma this ought to disguise.
I shudder to think what concoction you have in mind, though trust you shall make use of that in service to our cause.
Fear nothing, sorceress. At least not from me here. Beyond the city gates, I shall be testing your resolve whenever you speak the vows. But in this pharmacy, as I call it, I merely test the potency of my concoctions and the like.
But you fought against me with such rancor, Lady Medea. If there is some bad blood between us, I would like to know the cause.
Perish the very thought. I merely wish for you to not let down your guard with anyone. And besides, there's no bad blood for those of our predilection. All blood has its uses. Welcome to my pharmacy.
Wanted to mention, Lord Hypnos still is slumbering in the crossroads. I tried dream vapors on him to no avail. Can you think of anything more potent, perhaps?
Well, I can think of how to make dream vapors more potent, sorcerers. They practically could rouse the dead. As for that dormant son of Nyx, who knows? But little harm in trying. I salute your great achievement. Great Hecate herself was generous enough to notify me of your latest exploit, sorceress. And I wouldn't have believed a word of it had I been told by any other being save for her. So then, the Titan Lord has truly been defanged.
So it seems, Lady Medea. And the monstrosity that loomed over Olympus is gone too. Some traces of both threats remain, but we think we can handle them.
You apparently can handle anything. My only fear is that this means we may not see each other quite as often as we have. And shall I be forced to leave Ephira soon, so that mortals may then rob this city of its character?
That won't be an immediate concern. The underworld will not go back to how it used to be for quite some time. The dead shall have to wallow for a while longer.
Oh, how utterly terrible. But only for the dead. As for me personally, why, I don't even know whom to curse. Cyclops. Well, here we are already, sorcerers. Mere moments prior, we were speaking amicably by my cauldron. And yet now it's come to this.
I know you're to confront me here because of the oath we took, Lady Medea. But the Cyclops hasn't had as good of an excuse.
Come, you've trespassed on his property for one, and he is famished for another. Look at him, he's at a loss for words. Lord Polyphemus, you must say something.
I thought I'd let my fleet do the talking this time.
One always could see plain your talent, sorceress. But truth be told, I thought your heart would be a liability. Perhaps, however, I was wrong in that.
I'm thankful for your faith in me. My heart is never so assertive that it would lead me astray. Or so I tell myself anyway. Your stronger dream vapors helped me get deeper into the psyche of Lord Hypnos. But unfortunately not deep enough. He's still dozing away. Anything else I can try?
Oh, there's always something. Rearrange some pieces of his mind, perhaps. Have you tried stabbing him repeatedly?
I was thinking more along the lines of his connection to his brother, the incarnate of death. Is there some way to imbue the dream vapors with the essence of the dead?
Why, certainly. The properties of sleep and death go hand in hand. I think I can point you in the right direction on that one. Do tell me how it goes.
Absolutely.
I see you. You fixed it, neat. This witch is back. There's bodies everywhere. I've had it good, but you're about to get it bad.
Lady Medea, aren't you supposed to stand with me here rather than with him? Though the will of night ought never to be questioned, and this is all part of the vows I spoke.
Night brings terror, sorceress. A fear of the impossible and the unknown. I merely am fulfilling my responsibility unto that cause. So please, address Lord Polyphemus here, not me.
Lord Polyphemus. think I like the sound of that. After all, lords tend to have big appetites. Now come on over and I'll edge you to the corpses on the ground.
Not seen you in a bit.
I woke him up, Lady Medea. Lord Hypnos, I mean. Thank you for all your guidance with the dream vapors. The House of Hades owes you a great debt.
Those are such tidings as I wish to hear. All I ask in return is that the underworld gates remain ajar yet for some time. The dead and I, we still have many matters to explore. I'm here. Well, sorcerers, you're utterly committed to the oath. As your fight remains with Lord Polyphemus, I'm to be mostly silent henceforth, though I have no wish to be rude.
I know you're here because of certain obligations, Lady Medea, so I certainly bear no ill will. Well, not to you at least, but to Lord Polyphemus, I am not so sure.
Now he's upset again. Please understand that I am not responsible for any actions that the Cyclops takes. I hardly am responsible for mine. Great Hecate informs me you have regularly crossed the morning fields. There's something I would ask, as much as it pains me, for a concoction I've been dying to complete.
Certainly no harm in asking, Lady Medea. What is it that you seek, and to what end?
I need the vapor from the tears spilled by sorry souls that linger in that place. If you could gather up some tears declaring them for me, then collect their boiled essence from your cauldron, I'd be very much obliged.
And which sort of concoction would be possible once you possess these essences of sorrow?
One that shall be of no small benefit to you and I alike. You needn't go too far out of your way, of course.
Of course. Harm for the afflicted, is it? This should be what you sought. One vial of vaporized tears from the morning fields. May you use it well.
Oh, this is it. To think of all the sorrow concentrated here. I shall be working with this very soon. Thank you so much. The Wheel of Night is calling to me once again. How sickening that I'm to curse our enemies, only to stand within their ranks alongside their dread Cyclops but a little while hence.
These curses that you offer me may negatively impact him, but I suppose not you. Although, isn't it quite common for curses to backfire?
The curses of an amateur, most certainly, but mine? No. Well, this shall be highly instructional at least, until we see each other soon beyond the gates.
You heard that, didn't you?
Oh, I quite like it here. As much as I've enjoyed experimenting in my little corner of the city, a bit of the outdoors is giving me some benefit, I think.
If only I could say the same for your various toxins, venoms, poisons and such, Lady Medea. Doesn't the Will of Night forbid the use of certain substances?
Is that so? Perhaps I'm not entirely caught up on all the latest bylaws, but you have bigger problems here than a bit of sour blood. Oh, Cyclops. The gods of Olympus have not always been particularly kind, yet you, a true-blood relative of theirs, would show me favor for little more than carrying out my oath to great Hecate? Unnecessary, this. I've only curses in return.
You're so much more than your curses, Lady Medea. Perhaps the gods of Olympus and the dead never told you so, but I believe it's true.
Oh, good, you're just in time. Those tears you brought me were the missing touch I lacked for something that had been the subject of my studies for some time. I'm pleased to offer you a sample of it now, if you would like.
This sounds potent.
Keep sweetening this atmosphere, and it may start to undermine my craft. I cannot stand over my cauldron thinking all these pleasant thoughts. Imagine the result.
I certainly can. You're one of the greatest practitioners of our craft I've ever known. The depth of your ability is beyond compare, and surely its breadth is boundless too.
How the dead are drawn to you, sorcerers. I've seen it plain. Even the skull of Revol must worship the ground beneath your feet. I dreamt of her quite recently, in fact.
Of all the nocturnal arms, Revol's connection to the dead perhaps is the strongest. What happened in the dream?
It sent a shiver down my spine. I was in the underworld, yet not the one we know. It was so very cold. And there sat a fierce queen, not your mother, mind you. And she intoned, "I see you gather countless dead in cold and dark domains."
I see you gather countless dead in cold and dark domains. She must have given you a waking phrase. Did she believe you still to be the bearer of the Argent Skull?
I doubt that, because it's you we saw bearing the skull, not I. My time with her for now has passed. Yours, it seems, may be only beginning.
I see you gather countless dead in cold and dark domains.
Repeated acts of kindness tend to rouse my innermost suspicions or my wrath, but in your case, what little ulterior motive I detect seems more or less benign. And now I've more than enough nectar for my purposes, thank you.
You're most welcome. I've likewise always needed to be guarded, as our enemies abound. So when I come to trust someone, I want them to know it.
I do appreciate the thought. Most practitioners of our craft would have condemned my experimentation or turned their noses at the very least. But not you, sorceress. I laud your intestinal fortitude.
Your experimentation, as you call it, is not for me to judge. That would make me no different than so many others who misunderstand the nature of what we do.
I must admit, I do enjoy how next to no one even dares approach us out of fear that we lash out. Perhaps not for the best long term, but as for now, I can experiment in peace. Though you at least are always welcome here.
For your devotion to our cause, Lady Medea. You may have all the nectar you require, but I'd like you to have this too, though it may not be suitable for your concoctions.
You would regard me as some goddess from on high with such a precious gift. If you but knew me better, you'd rescind the offer on the spot. This is unnecessary, sorceress. As you observed, I cannot use it anyway.
You could enjoy it, perhaps with me or someone else, or simply keep it.
Perhaps. Yes, thank you. You'd mentioned that you've come to trust in me. I wanted you to know it meant a lot. No one has told me so in recent times. Even great Hecate must keep me at arm's length.
Lady Medea, surely your inclination to conducting research all alone has something to do with this. You'd be welcome and safe at the crossroads if you wish to join us there.
No, I do not lack for company. The mere thought of being surrounded by the living and the dead alike makes the bile in my belly rise. But I don't mind you like so many of the rest.
Since ambrosia can be so good as to leave you desiring more, I wanted you to have this, for being quite possibly the most welcome sight in all of Thera.
To have been blessed by one such as you after having cursed so very many, however much they had it coming. I've merely done my service to great Hecate in working with you, sorceress. You need not compensate me more.
It isn't compensation, merely a gift. Your past is your business. I know only the Lady Medea whom I've met and come to understand. She is so much the sorceress I've aspired to be, with less emphasis on cursing, but still.
You were so young when first we met. I thought as you grew older, you would harden, grow crueler, as many of us do. Yet you have proven quite resistant, and in turn, you've made me more resistant to it too. I'm most grateful.
You're most welcome. You work so tirelessly at your craft, Lady Medea. If I may ask, where do you find the strength for your pursuits night after night?
It's very much straightforward, sorceress. I seek to punish all who wronged me in proportion to the harm they caused. Though have no fear, you're not on any list of mine.
Have you been wronged so often that you need more than one list of wrongdoers? What happens when you've cursed them all?
My lists are based on categories of affront, from mere dislikes to deep betrayals. As for what happens after I've achieved my work, I'll have to get back to you on that one. Great Hecate still hasn't told me how exactly you managed to induce within the Titan Lord a reawakening of sorts. No mere curse, that. So much she has yet to teach me.
The greatest teacher is out there, she always says, though, right? But I feel the same way. For as long as I've known Headmistress, there's so much to her that I can't even begin to understand.
We dwell in shadows, so it must be. But I take comfort knowing if ever I truly felt alone in the crippling, pathetic way mortals refer to their abandonment, then I can always call on her, or you.
Do you ever feel as though your curses leave you empty, Lady Medea? When I yield to darker thoughts, after the initial rush subsides, I don't often like the sensation that lingers.
Why, to feel empty is the entire purpose of this pharmaceutical enterprise, sorceress. To feel empty is to truly be at peace. The closest we can get to mortal death.
I understand what you mean, but I would rather feel fulfilled, or happy, or excited, not just nothing at all. Our senses and intuitions are what drive us.
They drive us to get rid of them. I rid myself of feeling all the time. Rancor, curse. Hunger, sustenance. Lust, and on. For each affliction, there exists a cure.
How long have you resided here, Lady Medea? I thought all our forces fled once the city was overrun, but you seem rather comfortable.
Oh yes, all the death and panic made for many vacancies. I slipped in through the shadows soon after the city fell and remained, practicing, observing. Great Hecate has eyes upon the surface everywhere. How fares Great Hecate amid such inauspicious nights? Scarce has she had occasion lately to illuminate this place.
Headmistress seems well enough. I've not once seen hardship ever get to her. But then, perhaps she wears that veil of hers so as to never show even a trace of doubt.
We all wear veils, don't we, sorceress? Great Hecate, she merely puts aside all pretenses about it. Well, good to know that she is still herself, and I remain her humble servant here. How much has changed with time? It's not as often that I see familiar faces such as yours, or hateful ones. So many fail to understand our ways.
You've always seemed to have ways of making them understand, Lady Medea. Though, do you find you miss living among mortals?
Locating live subjects for my research used to be easier, but that exception notwithstanding, no. A few true friends are better than 1,000 friendly, feigning strangers.
Greetings.
How absurd. The very idea of family, sorcerers. That we've some innate bond with those who share some of our blood. You've met my Aunt Circe. Do you believe that we're at all alike?
Madame Circe seems very devoted to our craft in her own right. Just not in the same way as you, Lady Medea. Are you so loath to think that you may have something in common?
Circe was never willing to push our practice to the depths of what it can achieve. She would turn mortals into livestock. I would turn them dead. A differing approach is all, perhaps. Ah, welcome. I meant to warn you, by the way, to not engage with the big burly lion-maned fellow who sometimes stalks about the streets out there.
You must mean Heracles. We've already met, and I gathered that I ought to keep my distance. He says he serves the gods, but he's a threat.
Oh, he's just a big downer. I cure his injuries, yet still he incurs more, and not even I possess the power yet to cure his spirit. The dead have more cheer than a man like that. Now come, I've curses to concoct. Hail!
The shades about this place. They're trapped in the decaying bodies of their mortal selves, aren't they? Unable to travel to my father's realm.
I know, right? This is a revolution in the necromantic arts. These shuffling wretches trapped on the very verge of death. I could study them for moons and moons on end.
What gives your incantations such great potency, Lady Medea? So many curses have intangible effects, yet yours pierce like a blade.
A well-wrought curse requires suitable reagents and pure intention without compromise. Any hesitancy, any second-guessing undermines an ill effect.
That I understand. It's the pure intent toward misfortune that I struggle to achieve. How can one wish such ill upon another without imagining some of it turning back one's way?
With practice, sorcerers, ill intent does threaten to reflect back upon oneself, often with greater potency. But with the blackest of intent, there's nothing to reflect at all.
You know, for all the dread and despair everywhere I turn, you've come to be a welcome sight, Lady Medea. I'm pleased to know you a bit better now.
Do not profess to know me, sorceress. You know my reputation and express surprise that I do not appear as cruel as it suggests. Yet the greatest cruelties can be cleverly disguised.
I meant no offense. I don't profess to know you well at all, only to say I look forward to our encounters. As for your reputation, I care little for what others say of those such as us.
Perhaps you ought care more, for we are rightly to be feared. And there are those who turn upon us, sullying our names, or worse. Safeguard your trust is my advice to you. I have to thank you, sorceress. After you last rampaged throughout this city, I obtained a sample of your blood. Oh, it's very potent stuff.
You're welcome, Lady Medea. Although, moving forward, please ask me prior to using my lifeblood as part of your experiments.
How about I use it anyway, but never mention doing so again? Fear not, I use it only toward a common outcome we desire.
You must know a great deal about mortals, how they live, suffer, and die. Have you found ways to ease their passing, at least?
Why ever would I do a thing like that? Great Hecate herself says that the greatest teacher is out there, but to suffer is to learn. I merely wish to become a good teacher myself.
Mortal cries of anguish and despair do nothing to move you to compassion, or to mercy at least. I find them quite unnerving.
You learn to close your heart to all of it. No mortal has a right to live for long. Certainly there exist those whose skill is to ease suffering. I merely seek to understand its cause.
That time already.
Those accursed curing pools there in the corners of the field. The mandragora thrives in bloodied soil, but in doing so, it filters toxins out. How rather fortunate for you.
Your toxins are so potent they immediately make me feel as though I'm burning up, even with those curing pools nearby.
What can I say? I try. You'll even find that no matter how many times you take ill, you won't become resistant, let alone immune. Decided to revoke the vow of rivals for the time? I do not blame you in the least. As exhilarating as it is for me, I appreciate the undivided silence here.
Polyphemus must miss your company. I'm still surprised the two of you seem to get on so well. I can't imagine what you have in common.
No, I don't think you can. But he need not see me constantly. He is a shepherd, thus a rather patient sort. We'll likely speak the vow again, and we shall all catch up.
Your curses have been of great help, Lady Medea. Oh, if only I had your optimism. You're always smiling, even in such a place as this.
What's not to like? No shortage here of blood for my research, and the dead are wise enough to stay afield of me. Now here, let's cast another curse and you'll be right as rot.
A dinner guest. Even with all the extra bodies here, I can always sniff you out. You're on my turf, and you'll address me as Lord Polyphemus from now on.
You can't be serious. You're not entitled to a greater status just because you asked. Or has Lady Medea poisoned your mind with newfound delusions?
Don't look at me, sorceress. I'm here by will of night alone, sworn to a vow of silence, even though it's difficult to keep.
She don't want to talk to you, she said, but you keep on trying. And you know what? I don't want to talk to you either.
What are the matters of dispute between that Cyclops Polyphemus and yourself anyhow, sorceress? I get a bit of thrill seeing you fight, but would prefer to know the history.
There is no history. The first night I tried to leave the city, he was there. He's tried to make a meal of me since. He must be working for Kronos, or was at some point.
He's just a shepherd. Perhaps you met him on an empty stomach. That can make anybody irritable. But do as you must. I'll intervene only if the oath requires it. Such a night. My curses and concoctions are quite lethal normally, but you've been able to withstand them. I don't know whether to be impressed with you or disappointed in myself.
I thought this was to be a test of my abilities and growth. It more appears to be a test of your latest experiments.
Must it merely be one or the other? Great Hecate has taught us always to be learning something more. That way, we shall grow as strong as the deadliest of poisons. Ah, you bear the light of Apollo himself. Well, just remember that he's not the only one who can create a decent plague around here.
Apollo certainly has a broad range of talents. So he would sometimes cast down plagues on mortal kind. Do you know why?
Why do the gods do anything at all? Simply because they can. Besides, a good plague now and then helps keep the common stock in line. Ah, yes. Such appalling silence in these outskirts. I've grown too much accustomed to the bustle of the city and its lingering sense of blood and decay.
Lady Medea, does Headmistress even know what you're doing here? She hadn't mentioned you'd be testing me.
Great Hecate knows all. But now that you are matron of the oath, the consequences are yours to decide. And tonight, you spoke the vows. Long have I been dying to oblige. Vast is the breadth of our craft, isn't it, sorcerers? For all your studies with Great Hecate, I suspect you've scarce learned anything about my areas of expertise.
You're right that my experience is no match for yours, Lady Medea. I've spent very little time with mortals. Still living ones, that is.
Of late, I'm spending little time with the still-living ones myself. Most are highly susceptible to insinuation, or at least to certain types of toxins, easily administered in food or drink.
You're always on your own, Lady Medea. Are there no family members or loved ones who could be accompanying you in your experiments?
Oh, they are with me in a way, the spirits or the memories. But why suggest that solitude's in need of remedy? There can be times when one could use companionship, but such impulses can be sated, case by case.